Sarah says to the old uncle, "Uncle, this bike is very expensive. If you fall, your son will scold you a lot." The uncle asks, "Why would he scold me?" Sarah replies, "If your son's bike gets damaged, of course he'll scold you." The uncle says, "It's not my son's bike, it's mine." Sarah's husband, Joseph, then says, "Wow, uncle, you bought a Harley Davidson? This must be around 1 million. The uncle responds, "No, son, this one cost 2 million. Sarah says, "At this age you should be doing prayers and pilgrimages, not buying such an expensive bike." The uncle answers, "Dear, I've always loved riding bikes and I really like this one, that's why I bought it." Sarah says, "Uncle, hobbies have an age limit, and your age is no longer the age to chase hobbies." The uncle replies, "Child, fulfilling your wishes has no age. I spent my entire youth raising my son, educating him and handling responsibilities. That's why I could never buy a bike back then. Now I'm free from responsibilities, so I finally bought one." Sarah says, "If your bones break at this age, they won't heal easily, and if you wanted to buy a bike, you should have bought one for your son, not for yourself." The uncle, getting angry, says, "Why should I buy one for him? I did everything for him, educated him, made him successful, and in the end he left me and went abroad with his wife and kids. He doesn't care about us anymore." Sarah asks, "So whom do you live with here?" The uncle says, "I live here with my wife." Then sadly adds, "Sometimes I think I shouldn't have educated him so much. If he remained a bit useless, at least he would have stayed with us. Now there's nothing left in our lives. That's why I try to keep myself and my wife as happy as possible." Sarah says, "Uncle, the times have changed. People value money more than relationships. Before settling abroad, he didn't even think once how his parents would live without him." The uncle says, "He still hasn't realized his mistake. If he had, he would have come back." Sarah says, "One day, he'll definitely regret it." The uncle says, "No, he won't." Then looks at Sarah and says, "But you should realize your mistake." Sarah, surprised, asks, "What mistake have I made?" The uncle gets off the bike and says, "You are just like my son. Yesterday was Joseph's birthday. He tried to stop you, but you didn't listen." Sarah remembers the previous day. Joseph had asked, "Do you remember what today is?" Sarah said, "No, what? Tell me quickly. I'm getting late for office." Joseph said, "It's my birthday." Sarah replied, "Oh, sorry, happy birthday. We'll celebrate in the evening." As she was leaving, Joseph said, "At least stay with me today." Sarah answered, "Birthdays come every year, but if this business deal gets canceled, we'll suffer a huge loss." Joseph said, "You're always thinking about money. At least spend time with your family sometimes." Sarah said, "I don't have time to talk right now," and she left. Back to the present, the uncle gently tells Sarah, "Look, dear, don't give work so much importance that you lose your family. Family comes first, money comes later." Sarah says emotionally, "Uncle, I understand. I will try my best to change myself." And with tears in her eyes, she walks away.